Hey, good. I'm happy for you. Thanks for
Okay.
letting me.
I'm s- I always forget to share on my WhatsApp group once I join, once I start this live. But welcome, guys. Thank you for joining us today on this other live. And it's always exciting to be here. So today, when I'm talking to you, I'll be trying to share my link on my status so that people can also join as well. Today we're talking about nursing in Germany and everything, in between. Well, everything about nursing in Germany. So to help us with that, just like we did with the last time we are live. Let me write we are live first. We we are live. So to help us with that, just like we did with Ausbildung, um, in Germany, we have Queen Esther, who's a nurse here in Germany, and she's here to give us all the tea, all the inside story. So thank you so much, Esther, for being here. Introduce yourself to us so that I don't do a terrible job at giving you a proper introduction.
Hi, everyone. It's your girl Esther.
Yeah.
All right, this good essence that is from YouTube, and I'm a nurse, and I'm also you see me everywhere on social media. I'm on TikTok, Instagram, keeping you guys busy talking about the issues concerning nursing in Germany and quite a lot of stuff, around it. So yeah, that's
A
me.
businesswoman. Yeah, all over the place. this this is abroad life. We need to make this money.
Ah, I'll make our face.
Oh my god. But anyway, thank you for being here. And
Yeah.
thanks for your time to share with us what's relevant when it comes to this whole subject of nursing. Like yesterday when we went live, people were even asking questions about nursing. I had to tell them, wait, people should
Yeah.
not do the nursing thing today. We'll do the nursing thing today. So while we're going through the questions that I already have here, those on the live, if you have questions, you can already just put your questions up, and then we'll get to it as soon as possible. Okay, so let's go straight into the questions that we have. First and foremost, what am I saying? First and foremost, what are the main requirements for foreign nurses to move to Germany? I think that one is like the biggest question almost everyone asks once they talk about this whole moving to Germany thing.
Yeah, and it's a quite basic question. It's not complicated at all. To move to Germany, just about three main things. One, you have to get your finish school, finish your bachelor's, finish your what do you call it? Your bachelor's and your vocational training, that's a nursing school. Finish it
Mm-hmm.
at least. Have a certificate from the country where you finished from.
Mm-hmm.
Don't stay in school and be trying to apply. Forget it, you're not gonna get it. Secondly, German language now. You have to know the language. That's kind of easy peasy. Not at least, but the language proficiency to practice in Germany is B2. So many
Mm-hmm.
employers already want you to come with a B2. They don't want you to come with B1 and start praying for a B2 and reach and start writing. Even though some employers say you can have a B1 and then be in class for a B2. So there's this thing they call tiny membership. You can get from like your language school to say that I am in the B2 class. I finished my
Okay.
B1 and I'm currently doing my B2. So with that B2 class certificate, you can actually use to apply for job. That's how I applied for my first job here. I wrote my
Oh,
B2
okay.
certificate exam done later on. But that was because I was in Germany, so it was a little different. And the third thing is work experience. Is don't underestimate work experience. You need work experience to at
Mm-hmm.
least 2 years work experience. Then we can start working from there.
Cool, super. So it makes sense that for me, it makes sense that you can apply when you are doing the B2 because, of course, the application process will still take some time. And before the whole back and forth happens, then hopefully you might have finished already before that finishes. Cool, super. So now that, for example, most people are going to be coming from, say, African countries or any other country outside of Germany. And these certificates they're going to get, because you talked about finishing school first, getting your what's the other thing it says you're going to get again? All the things that you said they're supposed to do. How do you
Yeah,
then
you see there.
how do you then recognize this document? Because I imagine that you can't use those documents directly to just apply for work as a nurse here in Germany. How do you go about recognizing them?
So, first of all, for your bachelor's, you have to go through the Regulus Presidium or the Regulus Presidium. So, because practicing nursing in Germany is largely vocational, we don't necessarily need the Anabin pathway, the Anabin pathway. And you know the Anabin now, the
Yeah,
one
yeah.
for bachelors and universities. You usually don't need it unless maybe you did a bachelor's and then you want to recognize your bachelor's degree here. But if
Okay.
you want the certificate to work as a nurse, that is the Urkunde as Gesundheits- und Krankenpflegerin or the um, Urkunde zur Fachpflegefrau, Fachpflegemann. All of those ones, you have to get it from the Regierungspräsidium, which is like Ministry of Health-ish kind of
Okay.
thing.
In your country
No, no,
or
in
where? In Germany.
this
Okay.
in Germany, but then in the city that you're moving to. So you have to Google like the Regierungspräsidium. Can I spell it somewhere? You have to write like the
Maybe you can write it on
Regierungspräsidium.
the comments part probably.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Regierungs. I can see spell this thing. Oh, good. Autocorrect. God bless you.
Thank God for
You know,
AI.
Regierungspräsidium for the city you're moving for. So, for instance, for Heidelberg, it's Stuttgart. Do you
Okay.
get so like and inside this Baden-Württemberg there are like a couple other Regierungspräsidenten. So you look for the one that is close to the place where you want to work because you also send them a motivation letter why you chose that place.
Okay.
You get so it's part of the stuff. So that's where you send your documents to. Those are the people you write. Usually you write them first and then they
Mm-hmm.
tell you to send your documents and then you go ahead to send the documents and whatever they ask you for. But I realized that some of the Regierungspresidium have like an online pathways, not all of them. Some they still it's Germany. Some still communicate per email, talk to me, I'll talk to you. While some other people already have like so it's you that'll find out for your own Regierungspresidium what are the pathways, what do they recommend? And they
That
usually
means
have
you have to find that means you have to find the hospital first before you
no,
know
you
that
have to
okay,
find the city.
a city. Okay.
To the city first of all, yeah, and then work with
So
that
if
city.
I'm, let's say for example, I'm in Nigeria now, I'll
Mm-hmm,
just say, I think I want to go to Berlin. Then I'll
mm-hmm,
now look for the one in Berlin.
mm-hmm.
Okay, so there's nothing, is there anything that informs the decision to go to a specific city, for example?
And for most people, his friends, his family, is that's why you now have to send a motivation letter to say why you chose them. You know, the
Oh,
meeting, yeah, there has to be a little more meaning to it. Or maybe you heard that this hospital is great at uh, plastic surgery and you want to have that experience and hey, that's okay, this is the reason why I want to do my Anerkennung here
here.
because I want this, I want to have that kind of thing. So you have to push your case and make your case here why you chose that city. And
Super.
then I wanted to also add there are also like requirements which you have to fulfill, which so when you there are like three stages to this thing. Like you send your documents in, then they reply you. Now the reply they give you, everything on that thing, most of them can only be fulfilled when you move to Germany. So the
Okay.
good thing about that reply is that with that reply, you can now use it to go and either apply for a chance carter because with that chance carter, you can now get an employment that will help you fulfill those things.
Okay.
Or I think a chance card or employment visa. That is if you now get a like an employment with that letter. So it helps you fulfill that. And then after you have come to Germany, fulfilled everything they gave you on that letter, you now reapply and tell them everything you put me to do, I've done it. You now put the supporting documents, and then you can now get recognized. But getting recognized does not happen outside Germany. It's complete
Oh,
inside Germany.
inside. It's not it's not easy. Oh.
On top,
Okay. So I understand that you first talked about some people might want to come as maybe they did their bachelor's already, and then you also
Mhm,
talked about how nursing is largely a vocational thing here in Germany.
mhm.
So now my question now is what are the different pathways for foreign nurses to come to Germany?
Okay. I'm trying to understand it in particular. With the way I've understood it is first of all, they're like I think I wrote them down because your questions were very, very big.
Big.
They're very, very the questions are very, very big. You cannot answer it like one line, like yes or no. So I had to jot down some things as I was preparing for the call. So first of all, foreigners is the basic Anerkennung, the first one I just told you, which is the way I came. I came up by first of all applying for Anerkennung, then come here to do my German course. The second one is get a job.
Okay, so meaning that people can apply for a job directly from Nigeria, for example, as a nurse, you can just apply for a job directly.
Um okay, now this will take us to a different thing.
Okay.
If I can say theoretically yes, but practically no.
Okay, because you need to do your what they call it?
Anerkennung.
Yes, you need
The
to do it
Anerkennung,
first anyway.
yeah, you have to do that. And again, even if you started the Anerkennung, Germans don't like to let me say German hospitals don't like to communicate with outsiders directly. They always need a middleman. They always need a middleman, and that's something where you and what's her name? Success was talking about the last time. I was like, no, I need to be on this call. For nurses, it doesn't work like that. Like you get into issues. Like if you're coming from outside, you will need a middleman, and that middleman can be your relative. It doesn't have to be an agent. It can be your relative. They need to be seeing somebody that they are communicating with, that is signing up that they are seeing. Everything does not go online for them. So that's the reason why getting a job is only possible when you have somebody in the middle. But then when you come into the country, like I said, when you come into the country, then you can decide to branch off and say, okay, I want to stay in the nursing home, because I was trying to understand this pathway thing. You can say, I want to stay in the nursing home, I want to do hospitals, I want to do ambulance flag. Ambulance flag is like nursing at home, like taking care of patients at home, or then you can choose to do what we call Zeitarbeit, but it's like working like a Springer nurse, like working travel nursing. But you can either choose to do travel nursing, but all of that is only possible when you've come here and gotten a contract.
Okay. Now that makes sense. But then someone can also come to do like an Ausbildung in nursing, and the person doesn't have to first do any sort of what do you call this thing? I just my head, Lord. Anerkennung.
Anerkennung, yeah. That's it. You mean like a complete nurse coming here to redo the Ausbildung?
No, I mean like someone who's not yet a nurse, who wants to become a nurse now, for example, and the person wants to come to Germany to do an Ausbildung. So is it the same pathway as having to, recognize your documents, or do you just apply like you're applying for a regular Ausbildung?
So with this, I'll take you back again to the middleman issue. Even though it looks like it's very possible to get your Ausbildung from outside Germany, these people are very shy to discuss with people who are outside and don't have anybody representing them here. So in my own case, my brother was my representative, but I didn't come to the Ausbildung. So the same thing with the Ausbildung. So unlike the Ausbildungs that Success explained yesterday, with nursing, the school and the hospital are not always one entity. So you apply to the school and apply to a hospital.
Oh, two applications.
Then tell each other. Yeah, now. So you are doing two applications. You're not doing just one application and one covers the two. It's like, this is the hospital I want to go to. This is the school I want to go to first. Then when this school tells you, okay, we want to take you in, you will not take their own contract that they give you and go and look for a hospital that you are going to be practicing in.
Okay.
They can give you recommendations that, okay, these are the ones that are close by. These ones are the ones that have enough Abteilungen, like Abteilung departments, like a lot of departments here for you to have good experience. So they can recommend for you, but then you are the one that will go there and apply to them that this is what you want. So in the Ausbildung world, so that's why it is really difficult, or I would almost say impossible, to apply by yourself from Nigeria to do an Ausbildung. I've never seen anybody who got it like that. I've never seen.
Now, I know that you have you work with an agency to do a lot of things with nurses and stuff. So beyond bringing in already qualified nurses, does your agency also help with this Ausbildung thing as well?
Yes, 100%. 100%.
Okay, super.
Yeah. The only issue about it is that you might not find Ausbildung where you want to go to. For instance, someone will come and write me and say, I want to go to Karlsruhe. I'm like, we are not sure we can find you a placement in Karlsruhe. But they're like
Okay.
those smaller cities, smaller villages have less students, and they're the ones that who are more ready to take in
Take
students.
people.
So those are
Okay.
the people that we are more likely to drift towards, because in this place you will have is less people in the class, or it's usually not in the big rowdy cities. You're new. You need some quietness and some learning time to get used to the
To
city.
get
So
uh
we kind of focus on those ones. Unless maybe you're married, like recently. So a married lady, she already lives in Germany. She wrote us and she was like, she needed a place to, because she had applied to a school. This woman is already living in Germany for the last 3 years. She applied to a school, got the school contract, and then she wanted to use the school contract to get hospital. She was not getting anyone. So we had to now use backyard, talking to people, talking to people, talking
people.
to
Yeah.
people.
Oh my
So now
God.
find out one that is close by, because she's married and she has a child. It's not like we can tell her, I come out from this
Come on, back. Yeah.
city.
True.
So yeah, that's issues.
Oh, this lossy thing is not easy. It's not easy. It's
It's their
not
mother
easy. Oh
is
my
the
God. So okay,
uh,
now next thing in terms of pathways, if someone
mm,
wants to come to Germany to study as a nurse for their bachelor's, not
mhm,
not as Ausbildung,
mhm.
is there a specific way to go about it?
It's just the same way as you go to university. So
Normal application process.
apply to the university. Yeah,
Um,
it doesn't have anything. It's when you finish that one, then you'll be
mhm.
giving the exam, like the nursing school exam. So you write the nursing school exam in the university. That will now give you the certificate to work as a to practice as a nurse, and then also have a bachelor's to maybe function as administrator or function as something else too. So you can now
Um,
have the two as a bachelor's in your bachelor's. Yeah,
okay,
depending on the pathway you
super.
take.
That makes sense now. So that means that there are like say give or take three pathways. So if you are looking at the nursing line, either you're
Mhm,
already a
mhm,
qualified nurse and you're trying to
mhm,
move in as a qualified nurse, good, you
mhm,
can do have to do the Anerkennung thingy.
mhm,
Or if you're coming as an to do Ausbildung, then you have to come in through the Ausbildung thing, which the agency can also still help you with. Or you
mhm.
want to come as a bachelor student or a master's. Is there
Okay,
masters
yeah.
in nursing?
In Germany, yeah. So there's
It's like yes, I know.
there's something they call advanced. Is it advanced practice? APN, advanced practice. Some schools do it. A few schools do it. The only issue we have with it is that, or I have with it personally, is that Germany doesn't even know what to do with bachelor nurses yet. So if you go and
Mm.
do masters in nursing, they absolutely have no idea what to do with you. You are
Mhm.
overqualified for your job, and because every other job description has their own house build. You
Okay.
get. So
Hmm.
for you to go from nursing to that other part in your mind, I want to go and do administration because I'm a bachelor. So not tell you, okay, you have to do this other house
House
building
building. Oh my god.
to go and so
So it's
is
best to just do. I feel like I see that. No, I feel like I see that most people, most nurses in Germany just do Ausbildung and then that's
yes,
just it. Yeah.
99 to
Or
98
worst
percent.
case, if you've already done bachelor's, worst, you just go rest with your bachelor's.
Yeah, or you do the bachelor's and then go and do like an additional course on it or do masters on it so that you can drift away. Then you have to now maybe work in the office space, leave bedside. If you're going to be in bedside, the arrangement is really very somehow. It can be very for outsiders, it can be very somehow.
Interesting. But it's good to know, so that at least so that people can plan long term, and know that okay,
Mm-hmm.
these are the kind of things to expect, especially in that area. And we've already talked about language proficiency. We talked about
Yeah,
B2 already,
me too.
so we don't
Mm-hmm.
need to go into language proficiency again. Let me go to the next question. So, how long does it take typically to complete the process? Let's say you start today. Now, let's say I start today, that I'm a qualified nurse and I want to move to
Mm-hmm.
Germany, and I start communicating today that I want to do this thing. How long will it take between today and when I get to Germany?
Okay. So in my case, I'll use myself as example again. In my case, I started processing moving to Germany in late, let me just say early 2017 because my graduation was in 2016. So let's say early 2017. Even though I moved to Germany a year later, early 2018, I actually started functioning as a nurse in August 2019.
Oh,
So that was
okay.
like 2 years plus already happening there. So now this is for me who was able to move in as in the as language in the language course visa. I don't know if that thing is still available. Some
You
people
came
say
with
it is, but
language visa,
yeah, I came with the language visa, but that was in 2018.
but that's after you had done your bachelor's because what you
Yeah,
finished in 2017 was your bachelor's. Mm-hmm.
2016 again, I was my bachelor's, you know. So I now worked for 1 year and then came. So I'm saying that because the least amount of time I expect anybody that does not know any German to finish learning the German that they need to move here, the least amount of time that I've seen and I've seen so far is 8 months. And that 8 months is you are very, very sharp. It's like for the sharp, like the last girl I interviewed on my channel, that girl, her brain is hot. Like
Yeah,
she wrote
I was
her
like, what
B2
she said,
exactly
like,
8 months, passed it.
I think she did that maybe 9 months or so. I was like,
I
what?
said the next month she went to go and do C1 because she was bored and passed the C1 again, one sitting. I'm like, girl, your brain,
Oh,
your
this
brain
life
is
no
hot.
balance. So
God, the girl is hot. So like for people like that, 100%, why not? You can get it in 8 months, but then you not calculate that 8 months. You then also calculate the time that you and your country will finish recognizing
the
your own,
document.
because there's the accreditations that have to come through your country that you before they will not bring it to us. They now consider the Anerkennung time that these people will take these days 4 to 6 months. They can be wasting your time. But to be sincere, with the agency, they can help you slow it, increase, like fast, hasten it a little because then they have some rights and all of that. They have inside work and all that. Can hasten up a little bit, but hasten it up, I can't say the least amount of time. But then, as I was applying by myself on my own, it took almost 4 months to finish.
Okay.
Then, what else will even take your time again?
Visa.
Thank you. That's it. That's the next one. Coming your visa application, depending on the appointment that they give you. And again, your employers. When did you find an employer? When did your employer finish all the paper and give to you? All of those, like, if you put all of those together, I can tell you that as a nurse that has graduated, if you stay on the work and stay on it diligently, and you do it very, very well, in 2 years you should be here.
Okay.
But
So
then all fingers are not equal.
yeah. From I see that you've supported a lot of people, a lot of nurses in relocating to Germany. So from these nurses that you've supported so far, on an average, how long did it take these guys on an average?
On the average, I would say 2 years. And again, it depends on your country. I forgot to add that. Depending on your country. So if you're coming from West Africa, oh God, do not catch my mouth. If you're coming from West Africa, your case is a very, very wonderful case because of almost all the countries in West Africa are blacklisted on WHO. So the
What did
agency
we
cannot
do? What
actively,
did we do? Oh,
because there are not enough nurses there. So they blacklisted the country so that their health workers don't leave. So because of that, the agency cannot actively recruit. So we cannot go to Nigeria and say now we are recruiting nurses, 20 nurses or 100 nurses. We can't do that, even
mhm.
though we need 50 nurses. We can't do that. But somewhere like the Philippines, somewhere like Mexico, we can easily go and pick up people. See those
Okay.
places. And again, thank God I remember that. Okay, two things. One is a new thing that just came out, which we have not, it's not yet rolled out, but we are testing it out, and I announced it on my channel. No, I announced on my story a few days ago that there's this nurse assistant pathway that is coming up where qualified nurses can move to Germany even while they are doing their Anerkennung and be able to work. So unlike my case where I came to do language visa and I was not working, the nurses that move over will be able to work and still be learning their language at the same time. Pari passu.
That's cool.
Yeah, super cool. So these other countries I was telling you about, they we how will I call it? Every time that an agency is able to bring a nurse from those places, I don't know if you've heard of this agency. They call them Triple V. Triple V only gets from Europe, only gets nurses from Europe. There are countries, there are agencies that only get from Asia and Europe. The reason why I really like this agency I work with, Gesundheit Personal, is that they work with all over the world. So they don't have that limitation to the people they
Mhm.
work with. So if they're able to get people from these hot countries that they want people to come from, for instance, like I said, Mexico, Philippines, Kenya, the hospital that employs them gets a bonus from the
Mhm.
government for employing them. So they get like extra money.
Oh,
So because I'm telling you, so because of that, Agents like our agency is able to give you huge discounts if you're coming from those countries, because
Okay.
we know that the government will support your recruitment.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we are coming from West Africa, nobody's supporting you, you pay
Ah,
everything.
this life is not, it's not balanced. It's not balanced. It's not fair.
You pay every dime because if we ever support anyone from West Africa, I promise you it's from the agency's pockets. Nobody is giving us extra cash for them. Nobody.
My God. This is not nice, so this is not nice. But in any case, we are still some people from West Africa is still they are still able to come. It just that it might take longer
Yes,
than
yes,
what
yes.
it would take. Okay, super, super,
Oh yeah,
super.
there's something else I forgot to add.
Yes.
Sorry, there's something else I forgot to add. Something else that can delay, like when you resume work. Which is
Mm-hmm.
already when you're in Germany, is the amount of time it takes you to finish your requirements on your letter. On your Anerkennung letter, there are requirements that you have to fulfill that it was finished. So maybe your own is 4 months, sometimes it's 1 year. The maximum I've seen is 1 year. I've not seen anybody that has more than 1 year Anerkennung
Mm.
side. Anerkennung means like that time that you like practice internship, is that internship. I've not seen one that has more than 1 year internship time. Most people get 6 months. I got 4 months at my time, maybe because I had a bachelor's. Don't know. So yeah,
Or
so
maybe
that's
your
something I could
aurora on
also.
your head was just a lot, you know?
After the Aurora, I still started 2 years later, 2.5 years.
Oh my God. Oh, this
Um,
thing is not easy. Oh. It's not it's not easy
uh,
at all. Then you made reference now to something like concerning nursing assistants and being able to work while you are waiting for your stuff. Yesterday, someone asked a question on the live, and I said I was going to take a picture of it too. That's what I've been trying to do: get the picture
okay.
of the question, so that I can ask you now. The person was talking about part-time jobs. So the question was, which part-time jobs can one do alongside nursing? So as a nurse, okay, that's first
Mhm,
question. So answer that one first.
mhm.
What part-time job can a nurse do alongside their nursing work?
First of all, I would recommend that you come to the country first and relax and get used to the system for at least 3 years before you start doing that. But then something you must understand also is that whatever part-time job you're taking should not pay you more than 500 no 600 and something euros now.
Okay.
I think it has increased. Your mini job limit has increased to like 600 and something euros. So if it's going to pay you more than that, your employer must know that it's paying more than that, and then you also have to know that you're going to be taxed on that money. That being aside, you can do anything. Anything
Ah,
that, as long as you're coming to your own job, you can do
can
anything.
do.
I have colleagues that go to another hospital to do shift and come back, maybe just 1 day shift or 2 day shift. So far their money does not pass that limit.
Mm-hmm.
Some hospitals tell you don't have to tell your Arbeitgeber, like your employer, if the money is
Mm-hmm.
no more than that 600 euros, then there's no need. The only reason they want to know is if you're not earning more, so they should
Well,
know.
mm-hmm.
But I have a colleague who works as a clerk somewhere. So on night duty, when nothing is going on, he'll bring out his laptop and he's putting in data for
Mm-hmm.
like a startup company he's working with. So yeah, you can really do
And that's
anything.
actually very smart too, because you're awake anyway, so you might as well just
Yeah.
get extra money on it. That's very, very I
Or
like
you can
when
be a
people are
YouTuber.
thinking money. I like when people are thinking of money. Oh
You
my
can
God.
come to social media and be a social media
I'm
influencer.
very sure. I mean, I'll be editing video during your shift.
Oh God.
Oh, adulthood is not easy. Oh. It's not easy.
Uh,
Okay. And the second question the person
uh,
asked was as a nurse, which city would you recommend one to work in, and which is better to live? Okay, and which is better to live? Oh God. Let me read everything and then process it in my head and, and explain to you what they said. Okay, so this is what she said. She said,
mhm,
as a nurse, which city would you recommend for someone to work in as a nurse? And then,
mhm,
what do you think is better, living and working in a city, or
mhm.
living and working in the rural areas? So, two questions in one in this case.
Um. Okay. Whew, this is a little bit tricky because there are actually benefits and disbenefits of living in cities and rural areas. First of all, you decide the type you like. So which city is best? I cannot recommend any. I can recommend my own city because we have a really nice big hospital here, and
Yeah,
it's a very,
Heidelberg is very popular for
yeah,
hospital workers. So
for medicine. Again, now they call it the city of clinical science. They are really like Pfizer literally lives in my city. So we have there. This is a posh place. This is a place where you might want to add. You might want to add to your CV if you don't mind. I can recommend it. But after outside this city that I've lived in, I can't recommend any particular city. I would always recommend that if you come new to Germany, stay in a place that is a little bigger. Maybe you find other international people, maybe so that there's not too much racism in your face. But the two last people that I interviewed on my channel, Aliu and Favor, both of them are in more rural areas and they're having a time of their lives
okay.
because they are spending less money, they have fuller lives, they don't have so much, even though they miss people. So from time to time they have to probably travel to Hamburg to go and meet up with guys friends and all of that. They have to go out a little to do that, but their pay is better where they are living fuller, food is cheaper, they are fine. To
Rural
get
area is just see. Me, I'm always saying like I feel like once you are settled in Germany, just move to the village because this city life is hard. Then we finish your money in the city. But I feel like once you are good, well, for depending on how you come in anyway, and depending on, just like you said, with this person who's already in the rural area from the get go. Another advantage I see with rural area, and I say you will be learning the language you will be speaking the language by force.
you don't have choice.
Yeah, it's new and things like that. But I think generally living in the rural area is fantastic. I was saying in I said in Wuppertal now. Wuppertal is a small. It's not necessarily a rural area per se, but when you
Yeah.
compare it to cities like say Berlin and Hamburg and Stuttgart, it's a very
Okay.
small city. So I think it's actually a fantastic thing. So I cut you short. Sorry, finish your stuff. Finish your
No, no,
train of
yeah,
thought.
that's actually pretty much it. And the only other issue, like we said, you're actually very right because it's better that you move to the village after you have known yourself. Do you
Mm,
get like so that way you know yourself, you understand the language, you understand all of that, so that when you now go back, you can speak for yourself when things are going wrong. Because
yes. Yeah.
if you go to now work in another hospital, then one nurse come and say, come to put something on your head that you did not do, and you cannot speak, you're not there quiet and looking, you have that problem.
Mhm. Problem for you.
There's a problem. Or
Problem for you.
someone is being outrightly racist to you, you cannot respond, or you cannot remove yourself from the situation because you don't even know what is happening around you. Your journey just come.
Mhm.
Don't do it.
Oh my God, interesting. This living abroad life go easy, but it is what it is. Immigration will never end. People will continue to, move around no matter what happens. Okay, so there's a question. The person said, thank you for the information. I've watched Quinessa's videos about the partnership recognition process with A2 certificates. Please, how long will this process take before arriving in Germany? Is
Nurse
it is it
Ene,
the same?
currently, I'm
Yeah,
saying,
yeah.
I'm
Please go
saying,
ahead.
yeah, currently there is a shift. So I cannot easily tell you exact unless my boss is watching this live now. He texts me and tell me, it takes so and so time because there's a new shift. Usually, it should have taken longer. Especially from those of us from the West Africa. West Africa, your time limits are very bad because some things are not flowing with us. Like we've had
Mhm.
cases of people that we got employment for, and then a few weeks later, the employer will just withdraw for any and every reason. It can be very stressful. So I can't say. But now, because of these new immigration laws and they need nurses badly and all of that, they are making this partnership recognition process even faster. So we are in the agency now. We are doing a test run with, is it 20 people? I can't remember how many people. We are doing a test run with the first group of people. Depending on how it goes, we'll not be able to now say for the general public, okay, this is how we are doing it. But if you want to be part of that, you can actually write me and I'll see if there's still a slot for it because I know I announced it. I don't know if the list is full yet.
Mhm. Somebody is writing a very long complaint about
Yeah.
agencies and stuff. Super long.
Ah,
Sophie Martins. So Esther, do you have
wow.
anything to say about this?
I've not even started reading it. Oh, okay. Okay. So Sophia Martinez, right? We need to have a conversation. Okay. So if it's possible, can you write me on Instagram, or which was why I reply quickly. These days I actually reply quickly on TikTok. So can you please write me on Instagram, or like check my channel and you see my, I want to have a meeting with you. I need us to have a conversation. And when you are available, I don't even mind having Mr. Fidel on that call. Okay? Clear
that
out
would
what
be
this
really good
is.
because feedback is important, you know.
Yeah.
That
Yeah,
people are
please
happy
write
with
to me.
what's okay. This is really good. Sophie Martins, I'm sorry that your friend or your brother had such an experience, but yeah,
Mm.
I
So
think after the
and you
conversation
have
with
to be
Esther,
sure. Auntie Sophia, let me talk like in Nigeria. You have to be sure that the person you're dealing with is telling you the truth, because you don't know the things we see. You don't know.
that one
Trust me,
too,
you don't know. Because
that
sometimes we
one
tell
too
people,
there.
like school, when people come to the agency, we tell them like, you're paying for services. You're not paying for Miracle Center. So if we tell you your A1 class costs so and so, you come in, you do it, you fail. Maybe they give you extra 2 weeks, or you go again, try again. You fail again. You now say we should give you back your money. Why? The teachers that taught you, did they teach you on Duracell battery? Abi? Did we give them food? Do you get? So sometimes there's a huge misunderstanding, but then let's have this conversation on a different call.
Okay, that would be very helpful. Osaro also has another complaint as well. So guys, just
What's
get in touch with Esther, and I think she'll be able to clarify if all of these
Osaro
misunderstanding
Maris,
or
what did I tell you was free? Because last year in December, hey, well, now I'm going to be doing Verteidigen. If it's German, Verteidigen means I'm now doing defense lawyer. Last year in December, we did a promo where we were sponsoring, I think, one or two nurses for free. If you miss the promo time, it's not free again. We will not tell you that there's money on top. I'm
Mhm.
sorry if you miss the promo time. There are people who wrote me for that promo a month later and told me if it's still open, a whole month.
Yeah,
So please, I hope this is not the case. And if they told you to pay money, then that means the promo is over. It's not free for everybody. It's only free for a certain group of people, which I always mention when I make the promos.
cool. And we need to bear in mind that, like I said, it's an agency, and agencies are not run for free. They're usually run as a business, which means that if you need their services, you would have to pay for it. But in any case, you all get in touch with Esther, and she'll be able to, clarify whatever misunderstanding must have happened. Okay, so let's get back to the questions that we have here.
Mm.
1 minute. Okay, 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 okay. I'm sorry, just give me a minute. I'm trying to open it. I don't know why it locked. Okay, we've already talked about challenges that foreign nurses face in terms
Mm.
of relocation. So based on their location, the country that you're coming from,
Mm.
and things like that. Um, Now we went into agencies, so I'll just give you opportunity to talk about maybe we'll talk about the agencies much later. But before then, let's talk about the typical cost of moving to Germany as a nurse, because everything comes with money.
Mm.
So every move is every move costs money. That's why I laugh at the people who make jest of immigrants, because they know that immigrants are spending plenty money to move. It costs a lot. So how much do you think, how much does it typically cost for someone to relocate to Germany as a nurse?
Um. Okay. So I'm trying
Just
so
a
hard to.
rough, it doesn't have to be exact figures, just
Yeah.
a
So
rough idea. Yeah.
yeah. Okay.
So
So I
nobody
was
will
just
say Esther
mentioning.
told us it's 1 naira last week, and this week he said it's 20 naira. So just
No,
a rough
if it's the
estimate.
agency, their price has been stable since 2020, 6,540 euros. I don't cram am. That's like the
Oh,
basic, yeah, 6,540 euros for the services
no
and
small
everything.
money. Oh.
So, but then if you when you apply, they'll send you like a list of everything they are doing for you, and like give you a
And
breakdown
language school is part of
is
it.
inside, is
And
inside.
language school
Language.
is not cheap anyway.
It's not cheap. So I feel if you're having like good language teachers, good language good teachers, when I was writing the challenges, when I wrote languages, I remember I was talking to Mr. Fide, like the MD the other day, and he was telling me how so the problem that some people have is that they actually go to very what do you call it? They go to people to learn German, from people to learn German, from people who don't know how to speak German. How do I say that? So you're in Nigeria and somebody is just speaking Bangladesh and you are just flabbergasted and you want to learn everything the person is saying because you assume that they are speaking correct German. So imagine somebody to our agency well, I think he was coming like as a student. He did not pass his B2 exam, had to leave for some and for any and every reason. Later writes the agency a letter and says, even though people rejected me, now I'm a language school teacher in so and so. After he did not pass B2 exam. Teaching
Oh my
somebody.
God.
So sometimes these things can be very. I'm a little bit distracted with all of this stuff because I really, really want to talk about it. I like my reputation to be clean. Was it? I do not lie to anybody. But anyway, that being on the side, agency cost, like I said, is 6,540K. If you want to move here, for those who like the idea of language visa or opportunity cost visa, you have to also put in mind that you have 12,000
Euros.
euros blocked accounts. This is either or. You get, so it's either you are doing this plenty money one or you're doing the agency one and you're coming straight to work. And you also consider that you have travel fees. I don't know how, when I say travel, I mean local travel fees. And that's, I don't know how much it costs in your country because for many times you'll have to travel from here and there to go and register one thing, to go and write one exam and all. Consider that. In some cases, your international travel fee will be covered by the employer. In some cases, recently, actually, in a lot of cases, I heard a lot of employers are now being more open to cover travel fees and the first
It's actually
accommodation.
very nice though. Very
Yeah,
nice
I
of them.
think they're learning from the UK. So they cover that first flight and then they cover the what's the name of that one? Like the first month of accommodation. So when you're now moving, you now pick up from there. Something else you should consider is your language exam fees. In the agency, you pay, at least I'm speaking for the agency now, you pay for language school, you don't pay for language exam. When you go to write your language exam, you pay that differently when you go to write because you don't write it in-house, you write it with Goethe Institute. So you pay Goethe Institute and write it there. Reason we do that is because we don't want people to what do you call that thing? To abuse the system. Because they feel like I've already paid for it, they will not be going anyhow to writing the exam 6 times until they be failing,
Yeah.
assuming that we will just keep paying. And we don't have a partnership with Great Institute to do that, so we can't do that for you. And you should also consider your visa fees. In many countries, it's somewhere around 70 euros to 100 euros. Usually no more than that. So far, I've heard it's usually between 70 to 100 euros. So, yeah, I think those are all the fees that are happening to you.
That covers about it, which makes a lot of sense. Okay, so the next question that I have here is about culture, workplace culture. Because you've
Mm.
worked as a nurse in Nigeria, you've worked as a nurse in North America, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Guyana, yeah.
And then you've worked now as a nurse here. What would you say are the cultural differences in these different areas, these different places that you have worked in as compared to working as a nurse in Germany?
First of all, the whole German cultural shock is gonna happen to you. Like the social shock, like how people are naturally, will really affect you. I can easily outline. I think one of the first things that really bothered me was smoke breaks.
Everybody is complaining about this. Is everybody, everybody.
In the beginning, it was stressful. In the beginning, it was stressful because you would just be walking, one person just be like, "Let me go and smoke." They will go, and then they'll come. Then they'll go again. You not be like, "Ah, ah." And do you know the annoying part? These people will be doing their work sharp, 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 so that they can go and smoke. You that don't have addiction that is pushing your head, you are just taking your time. your you know so it's a very it used to bother me a lot, but then after a while I learned how to go around it. Just get to know it's either you start going out with them, so anytime they go to smoke, you join them and go and sit down outside there. If you don't mind perceiving the cigarette, that one is difficult for me. Or when they come back, you now tell them, okay, now I want to go. I'll be back in 5 minutes. So sometimes I use that time, go inside the toilet and sit down. Nobody's talking about just, or I will just carry my phone and go and press my phone for like 5 minutes.
5 minutes and come. You must stay at your break back. Nobody's treating you here.
And the truth is that your colleagues, maybe they are not doing it because they don't like you. They really just
Yeah.
feel like they need to
It's
know.
just a norm. It's not out of place. Yeah.
Yeah. So when you now go on your own, they also support you. They'll be like, okay, it's cool. When you come back, okay, I'll look after when you come back. So it's sometimes it'll be like partnership. I go my
Do your own. Yeah.
oh, you go your own and we are fine. As long as nobody is angry. Some of my colleagues, if they are going to smoke, they'll tell me don't touch anything until we come back. So it's not be as if you are working when we are not here. Something like, sometimes that works. Maybe another thing that might shock you might be the fact that they are not relatives. Or like the kind of nursing that you experience in third world is that the family is part of the care and everything. Here you're doing everything. Everything you expect the family to have done, you do by yourself. One big one is that doing extra work doesn't mean much. So if you are doing maybe everybody is doing 1 2, you can do 1 2 3 4 so that they cannot see that you're a good nurse and now come out. It doesn't really mean, just do your work and go home, to be honest. For you to get that kind
Somebody
of
is looking at your
influence, you
eyes.
have to already have a political. So forget it. Your colleagues though will do eye service where. So you have to find a good way to balance it, which is when you do something, be able to say I did it without being afraid of, I don't want to show too much. You should be able to confidently say I did it. It was something I dealt with. Because if you don't, they will overlook it and look at you as a passive member of the team and not feel like you're bringing active contributions. I used to have let's say team leader then, who every time I did something, she would help me to blow my trumpet because she knows I will not say it. And I didn't know she was trying to teach me to talk. Because every other person, if they move one pen from here to here, they'll be like, so I moved this pen from here to here because I thought like the pen is here. The pen would do like this and do like that. I will not be like, this is just minimal. Like, what's this? I can
I think
literally
this
rearrange
happens.
this whole.
I think this happens everywhere in every office. Like if you are not, you need to
Right.
blow your trumpet. If you're not talking about it, it's as if you do not do it.
You do not do it.
So you better do it. If I have so in my office you do I think which happens in every office. Every office I've worked in anyway, you do like weekly reports of the work that you have done for the week. There are some colleagues that when they are writing their weekly report, means I'm looking and say, it's not this 1 2 3 4 5 things that you wrote is one thing. Is together. Why are you separating it? But when you think about it logically, it makes sense to explain make them not go think say the thing that you did was just picking something from here and dropping here. So the person knows that actually there are a lot of things that went into that process. So it's everywhere, every single place. Cool. Sorry for cutting it. You
No,
can't
it's fine.
continue.
It's fine. Maybe another thing I want to know is, like I said, don't overdo because how do I put it? There's no necessary promotion. Like there's nothing you will do now. They'll not say, okay, we are promoting you. You're not earn more than a colleague. It does not exist. It's not going to happen. There's already an earning system that is for everybody, and you fall into. Immediately start working, you're in it, and the more you work, the more you climb that ladder. You don't get double promotion on that thing. You don't. So there's no need to
But
do.
they can become like the head
I
nurse
said
now or something like that.
to become that head nurse. Okay, I think we should let me tie up and explain this head nurse thing to you. To become head nurse in any place, first of all, you need the vital build, which is like the training you
Like
do
a
on top of.
continuous training thing.
Yeah, now so you have to go and do that training. And before you even get to do that training, you should also understand that before you came, there are people in that station that they are waiting for their turn to be head nurse. So you have to politically look at things. Are you the most likely person to be chosen to become head nurse? For instance, where I was working, I was the only bachelor's nurse working at the time when I started working until later when another APN came, but then they moved her to a different place. So academically, I was the brightest person. Yeah, I would like to say the highest, how they put it, the highest qualified person. But when it came academically, but when you now look at politics, how long have you been here? Who has more people on their side? Who this that? I wasn't the person. So when my previous matron ward head left, when they were looking for another person, nobody even considered, like, we're looking over my head like, you're not among. They're looking at other people that had smaller, like should I use the word smaller qualifications that they added to their own. Or people had more years of experience in that place. Nobody was asking me any question. That's when I knew that I need to get out of here. because it's either you join the politics early. In some cases, the person who is leaving the seat already has a prodigy that they are training to come and take prodigy. You know, they are training to come and take their space. So you that is coming now, are you going? They are not. You get it by appointment. It's not election.
Yeah.
They were appointing the ones. You get so
Makes sense.
that's how you get there.
Makes sense. Okay. So don't go and be killing yourself. Just do what you can do, what is necessary. Of course, do your best, but don't think that if you overdo, it will not make you something extra. Sandy Joyful Space said, nice to join the live today. Happy to see you, Esther. I actually reached out to her some time back. You see yourself in the outside.
I don't, please, where did
But
you reach
never
out to
got
me,
a
Sandy?
response.
Please, where did you reach out to me? I beg. Where did you reach out to me? Please reach out to me again because
Reach out. Sandy,
I don't
please
know.
reach out to her.
See,
She's not ready
from
for
time
you.
to time,
She's ready. So where should she reach out to you?
it's possible that
On Instagram
maybe
or where should she reach out to you?
you can reach out to me anywhere, to be sincere. Sometimes what happens is sometimes I can get, maybe after uploading a video or maybe something is up, I get like a huge influx of messages, and it's possible that I opened your message and as I was about to respond, something that distracted me and that message closed and then it jumped into
Oh
the
God,
mix.
that happens a
And
lot.
And to be sincere with you, Sandy, to be sincere in my full chest, sometimes I'm doing extra work. I'm really, really doing extra work, responding to everybody. So all those time I spend texting you, nobody's paying me per hour. It's my extra time, my free time that I isn't doing it. So please forgive me if I'm not able to get your message on time or if I miss it. I'm really trying my best, to be sincere. I'm really trying my best to balance things out.
But she will send the message again. She will
Yeah,
send
yeah,
it
yeah,
again.
please. Yeah, you can
Sandy,
write me
please
on
send it again. So
Instagram,
that
TikTok.
she will be looking out for Sandy. So that when she see the message from Sandy, she's gonna know.
Sandy, when you come, and your name will be Akpom Yemio. Better put Sandy when you come. Let me know that
Yeah.
it's you.
Hi, Kelechi. Thank you for joining. Hello. Kelechi is here.
Okay.
I am. Okay, so Kimani, I had asked some. Oh, Kimani, yes, your question. We've answered your question. Your question was on if you could do part-time jobs, and she had answered that you can do any part-time job as long as it's not more than the minimum paid that is in Germany, which is about 600 euros. So if you work more than that, if the part-time job is paying you more than that, you have to let your agency know, your
Employer.
hospital know, employer rather know. But if it is less than that, you may not have to let them know. And then in terms of what the job is, it could be anything. It doesn't have to be a particular thing. Whatever it is you find you can do. But just know that once it passes that threshold of the minimum mini job threshold thingy that we have now, then you would have to let them know, or not, or and you have to pay taxes on it. So those two things, bear that in mind. Okay, Sandy said, I'm also a nurse here in Germany. I wanted to just talk with her about certain things. I love watching her video here on YouTube and TikTok. Sorry I didn't drop comments. Oh, Sandy's here already. She said she's already here in Germany.
Okay.
Hello. Thank you so much for the video, for your kind words, Sandy. And people should connect now. See, both of you are in Germany already. People should connect. Fast.
I don't block anybody. I know there's a pack. I don't know if she's on this live, Sandra. Sandra will call my phone. I'll be like, Sandra, where do I know you from? Be like, I have you on Instagram, Jeff. I can call you.
Yeah, so Nurse Anna
Some
said,
people are just take it by force kind of people.
Yeah, so Nurse Anna said, do you use same name on TikTok? Yes, yeah, your same name on TikTok, yeah. TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. So everything is all the names are the same thing. No mix up. Okay. So we've talked about the cultural differences in different areas that you have worked in. So now let's talk about average salaries for nurses. I'm sorry, I have a lot of gas in my stomach. Okay. Average salary for nurses in Germany and how they vary by region and by experience.
That's a GPT question, to be sincere.
Is it
Because
that?
because actually your pay really varies from hospital to hospital. It actually literally varies like that. Even though some hospitals, if you're applying by yourself, you can actually bargain and tell them, maybe if they give you a pay, you tell them, okay, this one it did not work. And then they will, maybe if they like you, or if they want to keep it, then they can talk, or they can tell you, I stay with us for 6 months and then we will take you to this place where you want it to be. Let's be sure that you are here on the long term. So you can bargain that. So I can easily say the average is somewhere around brutto, that's gross income, is somewhere around 3,400 brutto
Sorry, I didn't
three.
get I didn't get that.
I said the gross salary, basic gross salary is somewhere around 3,400. I should have gotten
Yeah.
my pay slip. I have it on my table here, so I can also explain a few things. So that 3,400 is the basic salary. That is if you just go to work every only during the day and you don't do any extra hours and all that. That's okay. But then if you work on weekends, you start getting like extra on top, like 25% extra on the hours. You work at night, you get, for some certain hours of the night, you get double. For some, if you work on holidays, they pay you as though you worked on a Sunday. That's like double the amount or half, depending. So there are these extras that keep entering. So in the end, you might now go home with like 4K and not that 3-4 that they told you in the beginning. What else can add to that thing again? What else can add to it? Night duty, fire tagger, Wochenende, yeah, and Überstunden, that's extra hours. If you do extra hours and you don't want to take it as a holiday, you can get them paid, and then that will also add to the amount of money you go home with at the end of the month. But like you said, it can vary from place to place. But this is something you can take as a rule, like a rule that you can maybe use to check when you're now applying for jobs. You now use that to rule and see, okay, is this what I want? Depending
I would
on
assume that this 3,400 is like, let's say, for a starting nurse who's someone who's just starting off. Or so if is that someone who's just starting off, or someone who has had maybe say 2 years experience, 3 years experience, or something like that.
for one someone that is starting off basic, I will not be surprised if they offer 3-2,
Okay.
even lower. But I've heard a lot of new people say that they started off on 3-4 now because of this increase in salary or inflation
Praise.
and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
I'll not be surprised if a new nurse started on 3-4. If you do your Ausbildung in Germany, you can choose to go straight into Zeitarbeit. That is travel nursing. In that place, you're earning per hour. So when the general nurse in the workplace is earning somewhere around 20 euros an hour, as a travel nurse, you'll be earning somewhere around 23, 24 as a starter per hour. So it kind of really boosts you and to give you the extra money. But a lot of people don't do it because of the moving up and down that you're doing. You're hardly in one place. So then now that's actually I can rule the line. When I started with 2.9, I'll be 2.7, 2.7. Yeah, my first salary was 2.7 gross. So
Me, I always tell people when they ask about salaries that see, salary should not bother you in the beginning. Just start first. Start. Once your leg is in the door, you have settled. Good. Now you can begin to explore. Okay, how can I make this better? Do I need to move from this place, or do I need to learn something extra? Salary can always change. There's nothing static. So sometimes people complain about low salary. I'm like, start, collect the job and work first. That salary can always change. It's not what you would always earn. So for example, you that started with 2007. Now you are not earning 2007. I started working with 2,500. When I tell somebody, I'm even ashamed of saying it. But but those days are far gone behind,
thank God.
Thank God. But yeah, that's it is what it is. Okay, so another question from me here. But somebody said, no, NS said I had registered last year with Gesund, your people, and
Mhm.
currently in my B1 class. Would you recommend that I register for the partnership recognition with A2 level?
The problem with that now is that that one is only possible for people who have not started their recognition process. So if you have not sent in your documents for recognition, you can actually still write them an email and ask if that's open for you. But if you've already submitted your documents for recognition, that might verzogen. I hope you understand that German. That might be delayed. But if you are open for it, you can always write an email. You just never know sometimes even the agency surprises me with offers. Like they'll write me this night and say, so by tomorrow we want to start one offer and the offer will last only 2 days. I'm like, you cannot be making these kind of decisions that quickly. So sometimes you just write an email, just write it, ask them, this is my case and I would really love so and so and so. Let them be the one to tell you that no, we are not going to do it for you.
Okay. Okay,
Disturb
that
them.
makes sense.
That's why they are there.
Kimani. Okay, Kimani had asked a previous question, was also part of the we talked about city, yeah. Which city would you recommend a nurse to work in? And I think you had answered then that you can only recommend your own city, which is Heidelberg, which is one that
Yeah.
you are living in, that you know that you have experience in. The other ones you don't have experience in, but generally you would say that living in a sizable city, say maybe not necessarily a huge city, but in a
Yeah.
decently sized city has its benefits in that you can
Yeah.
have a lot of people, you have more immigrants, maybe not necessarily, but you have people that you can connect with easier than if you're staying in a very small town. However, staying in a small town has its own benefits as well, in that cost of living is low. You are forced to speak German because your German must improve, because now you're living in a city where you're forced to speak German and all of that. So there are pros and cons. At the end of the day, you have to decide what it is,
Yeah.
that the kind of lifestyle you want to have. Do you want to be the Berlin kind of people that are popping, or do you want to be like the Visma people that are just really chill? When you live like Berlin people, you will spend like Berlin people, because those people are not spending children money. So you need to decide all that. Okay, there are lots of videos out there that talks about comparison between living in a big city, living in a small city. So you can compare these two and then decide for yourself what makes the most sense. And then the person said, and between Altenheim and Krankenhaus, which is best to work in?
Um speaking from a baby girl perspective, my sister go to Krankenhaus. Leave Altenheim alone. But if you have a passion, if you're into geriatry, if you're into geriatrics, if you're into geriatrics, then Altenheim is probably for you. You might want to work with old people home and all of that. If that's your thing, personally, no. I've tried it and I saw that it was draining me more than it was helping me do anything. I came back from work every day. I just hated it. I hated it. After a while, I even got back pain because I couldn't handle carrying and pushing people. So it was too much. Then you cannot opt for Krankenhaus. And then because in Krankenhaus, you get like other Abteilungen that you can change from, and try other specialties. So if you're still in the prime of your career, you want to try a lot of things, go to Krankenhaus so that you can have a chance to see here, check there,
I
look
see.
around, and then grow.
Cool. Super, super, super. Makes sense. Okay, then someone asks, is there any house building for professional drivers? Do you know if there's any house building for drivers?
That's fast shoe learner. You gotta learn how to drive. That's
I don't know.
no,
This sounds
actually,
to me like you just need to go and get a driver's license, which costs
yeah,
plenty money in this country.
yeah.
So, to be honest, I cannot say yes or no to that question. So, probably have to check. You know what? Check on the site, on the website, because this lady, Success, had shared a link previously on the house building programs and things like that. So check and see if you find it there. But it doesn't sound to me like it's an house building that you need to do for driving. So I imagine that professional drivers, you mean in this sense, probably be driving trucks, things like that. You need to go and do driving school for that one. As far
Yeah.
as yeah, that's what makes the logical sense to me.
Yeah, because Germany actually, sorry. because Germany actually employs drivers from outside, like from outside Germany. So, and when they come here, they still drive here with their previous driving license until they now get certified here and get tested here. So,
Exactly.
I think that the basic thing you need is that driver's license. Then, if you're now doing maybe taxi driving, then there's a certification you need for it. Then you go and find out how that certification works. Or you maybe you're doing truck driving, you need a clearance for it, all of that. But the main Schulung, the main training is that driving school that you went to.
That's what makes sense. Okay.
Mhm.
Nurse Ene said yes, she has not done the recognition process yet. So I guess the same answer you said applies. So just talk to them and know what is possible. Okay, next
Write them
question.
an
What do you
email.
think about doing one-on-one intensive flege to working in a hospital in terms of salary, work stability, flexibility, and workload?
And to Sandy, one on one is one of those joys of life. One on one is like you have only one patient for a day and you are probably nursing them at their own home. So you go to their home and you stay with them till your hours are over. You feed them, clean them up, watch a movie with them. You can even probably even read a book. You can even move on with your life and they'll call you when they need you. Really. So it's one of those jobs that are not very stressful. And because your patients are usually palliative patients, they are not trying to live longer. So you're not trying to do extra work to keep them alive. You're just there to make the rest of their life comfortable. So in the end, it's actually a chill job, to be sincere. Especially for someone who is studying. If you want to study, it's a chill job. You can take your books with you and just stay by them and study. If you're comparing to the hospital, at the hospital, you when you get there, your life is your life has been handed over to your employer. There is no studying, there's no reading a book on the side, unless maybe you're on night duty when nobody's there. Maybe you can do all of that. Salary, it depends on who is employing you. It depends on who is employing you. So, for instance, now if you see one Dubai prince that his father is sick and they say he should come and look at, they will pay you well now. Depends on who is employing you. You get if you go there under let me say you go there under an Altenheim or you go under it depends on who's employing you. Do you get like if you're going there as a travel nurse, your there's where your salary will be. If you go there on your own and the person you're treating is maybe a German, one old German that is not really have much, and they will not tell you, not tell let's pay you 50 euros the hour, you will take it and sit down there if that's what you want. So I have a friend who was offering me recently 19 euros the hour for the same kind of job, which is not far fetched from what the regular nurse will earn now. Like if you're going, depends on who is employing you. It's just really
Makes
different
sense.
ballgame.
Makes sense. Okay, so you need to look at it, the pros and cons. Is that even though I'll be chilling, do I want number doing this? you know, and if you're able
Right.
to get what it is that you want, really. Okay, so another question that I have here is the work-life balance for nurses. So, what is work-life balance like for nurses in Germany?
I think it's really cool. I think, aside from the fact that our jobs can be very stressful, I feel like our work life balance is quite cool. Oh, that's too dark. I feel like our work life balance is quite cool. That's because as a nurse, you almost always start with 30 days vacation days. Nobody, most people don't offer you less than 30 days. If they offer you less than 30 days, don't accept that work. First of all. Then secondly, as a nurse, you can almost always reduce your work hours without stress. So Ogena works as a specialist in her field. She works in an office. That means I'm assuming now, because I'm not full at the work before. She has not carried me for 4 days to go excursion.
Oh my god.
But I assume that every day you get emails, you have things to work on, you finish projects, you look at the things on your paper, you send it to the next table and all of that. As a nurse, nothing has my name on it. Do you get? I come and do the work on ground, and when I'm not there, somebody else does it. That means I can choose to work only 3 hours a day. And when I come, I do what is there. And when I leave, I can even off my phone. You don't have to call me until I'm back the next day. Do you get? I don't have emails at home to respond to. My work emails are at work. In short, you don't really, you really, really, really do not have to take your employer for granted. employers' phone calls when you're home. You don't have to, unless maybe you are very friendly with them, and then they now deceive you and tell you we are a big family, we are one big family. You fall for
We are
that
like
trap.
a family here. The scam
Yes,
of the
God, so
century.
God will help me. Oh. When somebody was telling me that thing recently, I was like, hey, stop that thing you're saying. I don't need family. So yeah, so I feel like nurses have it really good. The only issue we have in this country is that the pay doesn't really match up sometimes, and the stress of the work doesn't really match up, and then that the ability to grow in career is quite bleak. Those are quite the major issues that I made a whole video on my channel about why I hate nursing in Germany. I think I have the poster somewhere on my wall. I have a poster somewhere on my
It's
wall.
so
Yes.
mad.
Why I hate
So,
nursing in Germany. I literally posted it on my wall. Yeah. So yeah. Go and check out that video. I had like 7 points there to help you.
cool, and you have so many other videos in your channel as well. So for more nursing information, go to our channel. Okay, someone is asking. Someone is always speaking German. Everybody is believing my German. Everybody is writing. Everybody is believing my. Please just read it by yourself and interpret by yourself because something. Tell me anything about the possible recognition notice.
Erzähl anything about possible. Also, ich bin ein Einstellung.
What
Ich
is
habe eine
Einstellung?
Einstellungszusage. I
So,
think it's Zusage. She wants to say, not Zusage.
yeah.
Zusage auf einem Krankenhaus in Deutschland. Genau. I want to ask you, tell me anything about possible recognition notice. So what you're trying to say is that a hospital has already accepted to employ you. If that's the case, that means that hospital is also going to support your recognition process. So when you go to that hospital, you go in as Pflege in Anerkennung. Pflege, like nurse in recognition process. They even write it on your badge, so nobody say yeah. So during that time, they'll know you're Anerkennung. They'll have meetings with you. I think every month or so to find out how you are going. They'll write a report. At the end, you submit that report for your recognition, and they will also put in their own notes there too, that you are with them and all of them. So I think your hospital will also cover that, if I'm answering your question correctly. Because if you already have an employment, then I think most of the job is done.
Job is done already.
Yeah.
Cool. Super, super, super. Hi, Kimani says, at the churches you've gone to there lively, have you guys managed to build a community? Let me answer first. Yes. Yes, I managed to build a very big. Well, the good thing, I think another thing depends on your personality as well.
Yeah.
In this whole community building thing, for me, at least I've been attaching myself to my husband because that one is the chief of community building. So me, I just follow him anywhere that he's going to. And we've been able to build a very good community. In terms of churches you need to filter by yourself, because there's some churches you go to some churches that me I've gone to that after I went to service finish, I just came back and told myself, never again, I'm not going there again. So you by yourself, you will need to decide if this is a fit for you. That same church that when I was not comfortable with would work perfectly for some other people. The community there is what they need, and that's what would work for them. So at the end of the day, it would depend on your personality, the kind of community you want, or the kind of people you want to network and connect with, the kind of message you want to listen to, and stuff like that. But all in all, anything you're looking for, you're gonna find it. You just need to, put in the legwork that is needed to find it. For me, I have been able to find just that. So over to you.
Yes, I was going to say you are the queen of community. I was going to say, like, it's you that can even help me open my eyes in this community thing. Like, the first time I said you guys, and there was a bunch of people. I'm like, wow, okay.
The day you came to our house,
like,
was
you
not
guys
bunch
are
of
really
people,
doing amazing.
That one you came to was not bunch of. If you come to our house, one bunch of people there. and you see all those people that came, and not only you now I invite. You know, sister, not only you and Anita now I invite all these other people.
So I know. But it's
So
almost.
people see me online, they assume I'm the one that is the lively one and the one that is the community person. It's a lie. Oh. It's attaché that I'm doing.
But really, but you and your husband, you guys do an amazing job. Really, you guys are so open. You guys are so welcoming. It's just beautiful. So church, yes, me too. I found church, oh, and I'm building a community of churches people like me, like Christian people like me. I've dragged Ogena site, so Ogena is inside that group too, and
Dragged
we
me.
try
I
to
did
hang
not
out
know
from
when
time
I
to time.
reached there. They dragged me to the place.
Yes, I drag and
It's
site.
not true. We all agreed. We signed agreement. Say we are gonna be here.
I know. I know. We're not saying anything, we know. But yeah, good. But then we are building it, and whenever I move to Germany, just ask. You can ask me. I can add you to maybe the main one, like the Nigerian one we have, or I can add you to a Christian one, or like I have a nursing one too somewhere. I have one for Igbos, just Igbos in Germany. They're like a bunch
Community
of them.
many. Community
Yeah,
many.
just look for one. I have a question for those people that are on the comment section saying that like if you did your if you're watching the live right now and you came to Germany on your own, not like you do not use any agency, please let me confirm to me that it was only you and a German website that was interacting, or a German person that was interacting. Confirm Please confirm me, because that conversation is such a deep one, such a confusing one sometimes. So that we don't, so that all of us are on the same page. Because to be sincere, I really like people to use what best works for you. I beg, please confirm on the comment section. Confirm, please. I did it by
That would be
myself, or I had a friend,
that would be good. Someone said
or I
I would
had a
only
brother,
recommend.
or my husband did it.
That would be cool. Someone said I would only recommend GPNS if you can pay their charges upfront. You will regret joining them if you opt for installmental payment and fail to honor it. You will be threatened every day. See, let's tell ourselves the truth. If you sign for something, do what people agree. These people are not Nigerians that they'll be calling you and be saying, "Hey, I beg, na shebi we don't agree." Don't do that. If you know if we have agreed that this is when you're going to pay me this money, pay it, and don't come and say, don't. It's not. If you, just like you said, if you fail to honor it, you're expected to honor what you agreed upon. And if you fail to honor it, I would not see anything wrong in the person, going after you to say you have failed, or we agreed on this and you are failing on your own path. So please,
Mm,
let's also make sure that before we complain, that we are also doing our own
yeah.
part of it as well. Okay, so that's Salam, that makes sense. What you said now makes a lot of sense. Okay, so please, how does your agency work? GPNZ. Gesundheit coming something something. Yes, please tell us. So the
Okay.
person asks, how does it work and what is their price like?
Okay. So okay, I'll first speak for nurses. For nurses who have finished their nursing, you click on our website. There's a place where it is written for South Africans. That's South Africans, they just use it. It's for everybody from Africa, because when you open it, you will now see more. You see an opportunity, yeah, a tab where you can choose the country where you're from. So that place is only, it's like it's in regions, and when you click it, then you can see your own, you can choose your own country when you click it. Then you can apply online. After applying online, I think the processing fee for that application fee, processing fee is like 15 euros or so. They look at your information, look at your stuff, and then invite you for an online meeting, like a Zoom call, or yeah, a Zoom call where they can discuss with you and have an interview. That interview is just to know you and to plot your chart. After which they can now invite you to now register. Now it's the registration process that now has this 6,540 euros on it. But then before they tell you that, they will tell you what your pathway is and what they are doing for you. And if you are coming already, or that you've already learned German before coming, that cost to be removed. You don't have to pay 6K. So you are going to pay 4K less. And also depending on the things they are giving you, the offers they are giving you. If you're coming for your Anerkennung, you write us an email, because for your Anerkennung, really what we need is your YX certificate, and then a few other legal things, but really your YX certificate is the most thing that we need, and maybe any other uh things you've done. That's true. On the live we did 2 days ago with success, someone was asking if what do you call it, work experience is necessary to start your house building. Some hospitals, some nursing schools like you to have done an FSJ, an FSG, that's like Freiwilligen Sozialjahr, a voluntary work time before you start, because they feel that many people come to the house building and give up after 6 months when they see that the work is not easy. So they like it that you've already done some and you've seen how the work is before you now apply. So that could be a recommendation. And like Ogena said on that video, if you have the opportunity of working in any hospital, even if you're just helping them, helping people to carry people from one point, just do it so that they can sign for you that you did voluntary work. Okay, that could also help. So that is for nursing school people. Now, for every other professional, we also need you to write us an email. So you are looking for any kind of job, you are looking for any kind, this one is just not just for nursing. There's another asylum, like another department, like GPNC, that deals with every other professional that is not a health professional, not health professionals that want to move to Germany, especially those that have vocational training already done. You can write, you're a cook, you're a driver, you're a gardener, you are anything. You can just write them an email and then they will plan a meeting with you, a Zoom call where they'll discuss these things with you.
Good. So Mercy is also saying she wants to come do house building in Germany, house building in nursing, and she has done an internship before. So like Esther has said previously, her agency also supports with house building things and all of that. So do well to contact her directly so that because there's a lot that cannot be covered in a live session like this. So it makes sense that you reach out to her and then she can connect you properly with what to do, when to do it, and how to go about it. Then who says the guy who talked about his job offer. So he says what he got is a job offer, and he has less than 3 months on the job offer time to. Let me start from the beginning of this message. Say it's not an employment but a job offer, and I have sent the paper to Anerkennung Stelle as I have less than 3 months of the time for the job offer. I'm afraid that the recognition notice will come late. And what can I continue with? What can I continue with? The recognition notice is partially equivalent. What? Okay, I'm thinking he's saying that what can it continue if the recognition notice is partially equivalent, that is not fully equivalent?
Your nursing recognition is never finished until you move into the country. So you never get a full recognition. It's when you come in, you now do the extra things they will tell you to do again on top before they know. So that Arbeitsstelle you got, that employment you got, is going to help you finish the process. So you'll be working, and at the same time, it will be counting as internship time that will tick off for your recognition.
So she can. So in this case, this person can use the job offer to already apply for a visa. Hold on.
I think so, but I actually think so, but not how I put it. On what grounds is those people employ you? Did they just do you get, how do I explain it? Did you? I'm looking for a way to say it. It's not a job contract; it's a job offer.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. And for visa, what you need is a contract. Yeah.
It's a contract. So it's not like we are going to employ you. It's like there's a possibility we are going to employ you, but if you have so and so documents completed. So you actually have to wait for the recognition office to finish. And whenever they finish, you can go back to the employer and tell them, oh yeah, send me the offer again. You can ask. They can be nice enough to send it again. There was this Nigerian guy now, I think I did a live on Instagram, that a German doctor came to Nigeria to do surgeries. He worked with this guy and was like, you're so good, I want you to come to Berlin. It was Berlin or Hamburg, one of those people's areas. Told him that he wanted him to come over. But then because the guy's German course was delaying, this man kept on renewing his offer letter, big contract every year until he finished it, until he should finish his so that he can
that come. Means they really want him. They really wanted him to come. Oh, that's impressive. That's
So you can
impressive.
ask and they can send you another one that is the date, like the date is updated. You just to change the date on it.
Okay. So I don't know. I mean, I'm assuming maybe probably this person wants to. If this person wants to speak to you one on one, is this possible? So because I don't know, maybe the questions that he or she may have are not completely properly answered. Is it possible for this person to reach out to you for a one on one talk?
What we can do is that I can plan a live session like this, but then we'll do it purely on YouTube so that you can easily come in. I can invite you on the call and then we'll have a conversation there. And then the reason why I prefer that way is because as you are talking your own, somebody's has the same question, but you're answering their own. So that I will not be
Yeah.
having one-on-one classes with everybody because I'm not charging for it. Unless you want me to charge for it, then we can go on Zoom and private. Then I'll
Okay.
charge for it.
Cool. So I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. Isuse. Esuses. I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. So probably that would be good. You can connect to her on her YouTube page and all and see if you guys can organize a live session and you guys can have this conversation and it can make sense. So please
Yeah.
write to her.
Just write me on
That
any
would
of my
be
social media. And please tell me that you are this Esuses because sometimes you come to my DM and tell me another name altogether and I
yeah.
cannot even connect the two people.
Tell her that you are the Esuse from the YouTube live so that you guys
Yeah.
can make arrangements for when to have this conversation. The only difference now would be that the conversation people are having is going to be a live conversation so that other people who have similar questions or similar this thing can also um benefit from it as well.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's one. Next question. Okay, all these Gesundheit gist, you guys are going to go and talk about
Diana Grace, which country are you from? Because people like me, they used to deceive West Africans. West Africans.
it.
So there was this thing that happened recently. I really felt like while you're checking out for the next question,
Mhm.
there's something that happened recently that I felt like I should share. So one of our YouTubers, I don't even know who it was exactly, found out a pathway to move to Germany. Found out this agent. So there was this, oh god, I messed up my shirt. There was this not a hospital, but like an agency in Germany that wanted to get nurses from outside Germany. So they came online and they did what every YouTuber would do, like new updates. There is this place, everybody go there and apply. And those people got more than 1,000 applications.
Mm.
That office shut down that pathway. They shut it down. They did not take anybody again.
Sure.
And that's the reason why sometimes I that sometimes I'll be like, is it good to when I heard this story, I was not like, then it was should we have said it? Should we have just left it? Let's just be going slowly so that they'll be taking people, even if it's 5 people a year, it's better than that.
A complicated thing, all these things. Sometimes it's a bit complicated, but what to do? Um, Diana Grace. Okay, so thanks for your update and thanks for the information. Like we said previously, sometimes if you're from other parts of Africa, for example, or not even Africa, maybe other parts of Europe and all these other places, the story is very different from those
Different.
from those who are from West Africa. It's a completely different gist entirely from those guys. So okay. Next one said, do you advise that I include my 10 years working experience as a nurse, um nephrology
Mm,
nurse/nephrology nurse on my
mhm.
CV? Does the working experience affect my salary?
Okay. If you didn't work in the European Union, you will start from scratch.
Ah, are you serious?
Yeah, you start from the bottom.
Oh, this is painful. Oh, chai.
Uh-uh. When I came to see, let me tell you, when I started working, I started working in 2000
Chai,
and
pay me.
okay, I started officially working as a full nurse in this country in 2019. Mind you, my qualification I got it in 2013. So I came here and I started working officially in 2019. By 2020, I moved into this new area. By 2021, the students that came to do practicals with us in 2020 resumed work in 2021. I was earning the same as them.
Oh my God.
I was earning the same as the students that just came. That's because the students that came in, they promised them that they will push them up so that they should stay, so that they don't leave. So they pushed them up to my level.
Mhm.
And people who were there before me, how will I put it? They are, because their own experience is German experience, so they are way higher. They have like 5, 10 years German experience. I just have 1 year. So I was as good as someone who just came out of school, even though my own qualification was 8 years before.
Interesting. Interesting. Okay, Diana Grace. Diana Grace said that they're actually from, some are from Nigeria
Mm,
and some are from Ghana. And she said just go do your training in terms of the language thing, and then send your certificate to employers.
mm,
She talked about how that it cost about 2,000 euros for each of them, including visa fee. So um
mm,
I would say that my point to this would be that I remember that you had talked about, if
mm,
it if what your if the what your agency is doing does not include the language course, then
mm.
almost 4,000 euros is already
It's
out
out, so
of the
it's
money
still
that
like
year.
two
So
thousand
you,
something. Yeah.
yes, so it's about, you end up paying about 2,000 something. So let's assume that the cost of doing the things that you will do, even if it's about 1,500 that it costs, and then the person that is doing the work for you is then charging 500 for his own service, I don't think that's a bad deal. So it is two things. You are doing it yourself, the stress of doing it yourself and all those things. While it is great, it's possible. I like that at least we have other alternatives. So
Yeah.
also bear in mind too that let it not sound like people are just trying to take advantage of other people. No, this is a service that is being rendered, and if a service is being rendered, the person has to be paid for the service
Pay
that
for
they
their
are
service.
rendering to you. So if you're going to pay for the language school that you're going to pay for, of course it's going to also cost some money as well. So just to add um to that clarification. But thank you for this update. At least we know that. So
Yeah.
that is also good. Okay. Um yeah, I
Even though
think
Diana
that's
Grace, please, let's talk later.
okay.
Diana Grace, please, let's talk later. I want to know how this actually worked out, and to know
That
the
would be really
hospital,
good as
because some
well.
people have also used this leg to scam people, and I've had too many scam stories, and I want to be sure. I want to know where your own is coming from. At least it will inform the next videos I'm making, so I'll know how to put my mouth. I'll try
Mhm.
not to say the hospital you said you use, so that I will not spoil.
Yeah, yeah. So
I
it's
will not
also good that it's also good that we're also getting
spoil.
feedbacks and know that okay, these other things are also possible as well. So the
Yeah.
information is well rounded. So that's good. We have taken 30 minutes more than what you promised to
Um,
take. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. So we'll come to an end of this live now. But before I let you go, what advice would you give to nurses who are moving to Germany for whatever? Either you're moving here as an experienced nurse, or you're moving here to study, or you're moving to study as a nurse, or you're moving here for house building as a nurse. What would be your advice to nurses moving to Germany?
yeah. I think number one would be what Diana Grace said, which is invest in learning German. Invest and learn German at a good place. Don't cut corners with learning German. Learn that one very well. Make sure, and if it is possible, ask your teachers to send you that they should show you their certification, or the school you're going to. Maybe if they have a website, check where their certification is to be sure that maybe their teachers are certified, and just so that you know. Like I said, somebody that did not pass B2 is somewhere teaching people German in my country, and the people in that school are thinking that they are learning German. Imagine, like, just invest in that first. And secondly, I would say, be friendly. Be friendly. Like when I was talking on, there's a video I made. There's a way GPS your mental wala. There's there's a video I made recently about, not recently, I think last year, about uh the possible questions you get as a nurse in your nursing interview, and many a times they're not asking about your pedigree, like what you have in your qualification. What they want to know is your kind of person. Are you like, so try and be very, try your best to be open. It's going to be difficult in a new country, but try your best to do that. make sure it is what you want, because it's going to be a hard journey. Like if you've watched this video up until now, you would have seen how rigorous it is. There are plenty back and forth, and at some point you will feel discouraged. So make sure that this is really, really what you want. And when you finally get the place where you're going to work in, I'm telling you this from personal experience. I made a mistake in it. Push hard for any training that you want. Push hard for it. Don't just say it in the air and hope that your employer heard it and they're going to put your name there. No, keep asking every month. You shall put a reminder on your phone on the second or the 15th of every month. I'm gonna ask about this training. When do you say it's starting again? Even when you know when it is starting, you remember when you go there and tell them. So you know that. Remember, I said I was going to put my name on. Should we start? Should I do anything now to just make random conversations around this, and make sure that anytime the person, your what do you call it, ward head sees you, they are thinking of that training, so they'll be dodging you. So that the moment that they have the chance to do that training, they'll quickly put your name so that they'll have peace of mind. Make sure you push for it, because if you don't push for it, they will assume that
Not really into it like that.
they will prioritize other people,
Yeah.
and it will hurt. It happened to me, so please don't be like me. Yeah.
Cool. I would also like to add that speak up when you need to speak up. Talk about your work, blow your trumpets, just like with every other job. Don't imagine that people are seeing your work and they're saying, okay, we know, talk about it. Some people that need to know might not be there to see you do it. So a lot of times it's good that you talk about it. Then be patient. I always say that be patient with people, be patient with the new country that you find yourself in, be patient with the system, be patient with everything. Because some things will not happen as quickly as you are expecting them to happen, but be patient. Above all, I always advise people that so many people always come to my DMs and ask me about racism in Germany. Don't have that at the back of your mind. What you constantly think about, most often than not, you will see it even if it is not there. So while yes, this is a reality that it might happen, but that should not be. Don't approach people with the forethought that this person is going to treat me badly. First give them a benefit, give everybody a benefit of doubt, just the same way you want them to give you, a benefit of doubt. At least that's the way I see a lot of these interactions. So that when somebody really treats you bad, you have good footing to say, this person did something bad to me, as opposed to you were just expecting something bad to just happen. And then maybe somebody says something that is not, the person didn't really mean bad to you. This is what the person probably tell another person, even if the person is white, brown, green, or whatever. But because you have had that conception already, then it makes you begin to say, I feel that this, in my own opinion, makes life a lot more easier and more enjoyable, as opposed to always being on the guard all the time. So this part I would say is important. And excellence, of course, is key, that we go everywhere we go to and that we are excellent in what we are doing. That you not say because I don't know, this is the barest minimum. Yeah, even though we had said before that don't overdo, don't have be doing kill yourself. But I don't think barest minimum should be our
It's not a good energy.
yes, we should always do whatever it is that we need to do and do it well, excellently. Especially if you're a person of faith. For example, if you're a Christian person, I always feel like Christians should always be excellent people. I don't know, maybe Muslims as well, whoever. But I feel that people of faith should always be excellent, because how you carry out your work is the connection that most people are going to have with you, and they can say, okay, this person is a good person, that person is a bad person. And it's even easier, to really live that life of faith when we are doing things like that. Okay. So this brings us to the end of this life, because the questions are just filling up. I'm just going to just ignore the extra ones that have come. I'm sorry. So you guys, please reach out to Esther.
Yeah.
Mesose was asking for your WhatsApp number.
I tried typing it. No, I tried typing it, but it didn't go through. So I think StreamYard blocks of contact numbers. I tried to type, it didn't work.
Probably. So please reach out to her on her Instagram page.
Yeah.
On Instagram, she's there on Instagram. So just send her a message on Instagram, and then you guys can continue conversation from there. She can give you the number there, and you guys can continue talking. That would
Instagram,
be good.
Facebook, actually X, actually Twitter. Instagram,
Twitter as
Facebook.
well.
Please, Facebook is bad. Let's just keep it at Instagram,
Instagram.
Instagram, TikTok, and X. Let's keep it there because yeah.
Yeah. Okay, super. So we have all the network or connection to Esther. But before you go, Esther, can you just wrap up by giving us a brief summary of what you and your agency do and how they can reach how people can contact you guys for
Mm.
support.
Okay, for anyone who wants the assistance of an agency, like I said, please write me personally, and then I'll send you like the basic details of all that I need to do. We have a website anyway, which is Gesundheit Personalnet. Is it pn.de? It's I'll have to check that again. I'm not sure about it. But we have a website which, if you just type Gesundheit Personalnet, let me write that on the chat. Google would pretty much lead you to that. And then you can write us an email on the website, or you can write me. I would prefer you write me personally so I know what you're talking about and how to direct you about it, so that you are not writing an email to a place where nobody is answering you, and then okay, that's it. And where you're writing an email, no one is answering you, and then you write me again, and so that just write me first of all, and we'll pick it up from there. I would try. Ogena has taught me a good thing that I should be doing a live course, so I'll try to put in live course in my schedule so that we can have more conversations. Because I'm surprised at the conversations that are coming up now. You people should be texting me with these things. Don't come to live call and I'll be talking. This happened, the other one happened. Like, let's talk about this much earlier. All right, that's actually it for now.
Super, super. So thank you so much for your time. I really, really appreciate it. You have been so generous with your time because we've taken almost 2 hours. It was 1 hour that we said. Now we have taken 2 hours. I'm really, 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 really sorry. But I think this was really, really interactive. I think so many people were here and a lot of questions were answered. So thanks for your time and thanks for clearing up as much as we could clear up for some misconceptions. And please, for those who are aggrieved, reach out to her like we have said, and let's show each other grace. Yeah. Okay. So until next time, for those who are still interested in more, there'll be more lives coming up. We're going to be talking about PhD programs. So if you're still on the live, if you know someone who is looking to come do a PhD in Germany, by next week I'm going to get some PhD students here. They'll be able to tell us this is how they did their own, or this is how they came, these are scholarships that are available, this is how you can go about it. And then they can tell you experiences, what they're going through, what the PhD program is like here in Germany. And that will be happening next week, Wednesday, on the 12th. I'm still going to share that as well. So until the next live, do have a fantastic day, guys. And ciao, ciao. Bye.
Ciao.